sun had poured down on Thomas's branch line, which weighed heavily on the engine's workload. Because of this, some trains were late, which caused much confusion and delay. Although the weather was bad, it didn't dampen their spirits. There was one thing that Thomas looked forward to whenever he went to Farmer McColl's. A little girl named Alice. She was Farmer McColl's daughter, who shared a love for the railway, and said hello to Thomas whenever he passed by. He remembered when she was just a baby, and over the years how she grew taller each day. It made him feel very old, but she was enough to brighten anyone's spirits. To say thank you, he'd regularly deliver supplies to the farm and talk to Alice about her day at school, or how Farmer McColl was doing. Because the farm was so isolated from the island, the only way to get there was by rail, which is why Thomas delivered it very often, which saved the McColls lots of trouble. One day, at Marin, Thomas was going to deliver some supplies to the farm again, until a pink tank engine rolled up. "Thomas, this is Rosie. The weather has been wearing you engines on the branch line out, so I thought you could use some help," the Fat Controller boomed. Thomas looked her over in shock. "Out of all the engines he could have chosen, and he picks the one who replaced me at Southampton," he thought to himself. Rosie whistled hello to him, but Thomas didn't whistle back. He was very cross. "Now, Thomas, please show Rosie around," ordered the Fat Controller. Thomas really didn't want to, but he didn't want to upset the Fat Controller, so he did as he was told. Rosie was a very cheerful, chirpy young engine. She was very eager to please and hard-working, but Thomas found her rather annoying. He showed the shunting yards, and she began to shunt there, but she didn't feel happy about doing it. Billy noticed and decided to see what was wrong. "Why the long face?" he asked. "I don't think Thomas likes me," she replied. "Why?" "Because he scolded me for being cheeky with the trucks." "Oh, don't worry. He's like that with every new engine. He was like that with me when I first got here, and he warmed up to me eventually, so he'll probably do the same with you." "You're right. I shouldn't let that dampen my spirits. I'll try extra hard to impress him when I next see him," she said. So when she saw him again later that day, she whistled like him and wheeshed like him to get his attention. Thomas just saw it as her copying him and wanted her to stop. "Respectable engines don't copy their elders. They do as they're told by their elders. Now stop copying me," he fumed. This made Rosie very upset. The next day, Thomas was waiting at Marin again. Rosie saw this as a chance to make up with him, but she saw him talking with the Fat Controller as she puffed up to the platform. "It's Alice's birthday, sir. Who will be pulling the birthday mail?" he asked. He was hoping he'd be the one to pull it. "I've decided to have Rosie do it as a special treat for all her hard work," replied the Fat Controller. Rosie was delighted, but Thomas was furious. "But, sir, I want to pull it. Rosie doesn't know Alice like I do," he protested. "Alice should be allowed to have more than one friend. You have your own job to get to." "But, sir, she doesn't even know the way." "Really useful engines don't argue. Now I want no more trouble from you," the Fat Controller scolded as he turned to his car and rolled away. "I'm so excited. I've never pulled something as special as this before," she chirped. "First she replaced me at my old railway. Now she's replaced me at my job. Whatever next?" Thomas thought. Soon Rosie found the mail cars and coupled up to them. Then Harold flew in. "Another storm, I'm afraid. Heavy rain can cause landslides, so don't go to Farmer McColl's," he said as he hovered away. "Heavy rain doesn't bother us engines," huffed Thomas. "No, they don't," agreed Rosie. "However, you still don't know the line, so I'll go with you," said Thomas. "Oh, don't worry, I don't need your help. I'll find my way," she peeped. "Right, be careful. Don't go fast, and do not cause too much noise. That'll definitely provoke a landslide," he asked. "Okay, Thomas, I'll chuff along the line just like you do," she peeped. As she puffed away, Thomas was still unsure of her safety. "She's bound to get caught in a landslide. I better go after her just to make sure she's all right." So he puffed after her. While Rosie chuffed down the line, she began to sing. "I'm Rosie and I'm running this line. I'm Rosie and I'm running this line. Just like Thomas," she chirped as she peeped loudly. Then there was trouble. The echo of her whistle bounced off the walls of the hill, and dirt began piling up on the track. But Rosie hadn't realized this. The sky grew darker and darker, and the rain poured heavily, but Rosie was determined to not let it get the best of her, until she saw the landslide ahead. "Oh no!" she cried, and she applied her brakes, but it was too late. She was covered in dirt from buffer to bunker. She wasn't going anywhere. "Oh no!" she groaned. "Now I'll never get Alice her presents on time, and Thomas is sure to be cross with me for letting his friend down." Then she heard a whistle in the distance. It was Thomas puffing down the track, and he just stopped behind her. Rosie was sure he'd scold her, but Thomas was more worried about the task at hand. "I'll have you out in a jiff," he puffed. "Then we can pull it together." Thomas heaved and tugged. The load was heavy, but Thomas was determined. Soon Rosie was free, and they both reversed and puffed down the long track. When they got there, the McColl family cheered. "Thank you, Thomas. You're the bestest friend ever. And thank you, Rosie, for getting my presents to me. I'm very glad to have a new friend," said Alice. "You're very welcome. Thomas, I'm sorry I didn't listen, and that I copied you. I just wanted you to like me," wheezed Rosie. "And I'm sorry for being so harsh towards you. It's just when I was younger, your class replaced mine on my old railway, and I thought you were trying to replace me. But I know now that you had nothing to do with it, and you're just trying to be useful, and for that I'm very sorry," he puffed. "Oh, don't worry about that. I'm just glad I have some new friends," she said happily.